Now let me switch my screen to SAP just to showcase the live demo of this cost sheet in the system. Okay. So the process cost sheet console is ZPC. Now this is the process cost sheet console. So let me just show you one by one the process cost sheet console. The maintenance part I'll first show you. So in this maintenance part, first, as I explained, as per the approach, we need to group the likewise input material. For example, there are 5 different type of input material for, let's say, natural rubber or yarn, or maybe the different type of input material which we are using, maybe iron, steel, etc. So that we need to group together for the purpose of our costing. Now you can see the raw material 1, raw material 2, raw material 3 are grouped to one group called RM0100, 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 and all these material groupings are easily designable, and as per our requirement we can name these material groups and give the description of those material groups also. There is no hard and fast to keep any grouping as per the design, so we can design as per our own. So here you can see the semi-finished materials are also grouped 1, 2, 3, 4. Packing materials are also grouped 1, 2. There are 2 type of packing materials are used, and hence we have created these material groupings. And this is one technical things we kept called activity type for the purpose of capturing the cost for that. Now let me show you the output material group. So in this example, I have kept 5 different type of finished goods and 4 different levels of semi-finished goods. So level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and 5 types of finished goods. So for each of the semi-finished, we have kept the level wise separate cost centers are there, groupings are there, and the 3 finished goods are grouped as 1A grade, and these 2 finished goods are grouped as B grade. Are we clear as of now? The groupings of the input and output is clear to all of us? Can I get a response in the chat box? Because based on your response, I'll proceed and slowly explain the total concept. Thank you, Avilas. Thank you, Jyotsna. So I'll just take that as yes, you are okay for that. Now coming to the cost center mapping. So the third step, where as I have taken an example of A grade, B grade for FGs and semi-finished level 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the material grouping for input and output I have clubbed with these cost centers. So let us assume each process of semi-finished, let's say process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4 is created as a cost centers, and these are all secondary cost centers, not at all as a primary cost centers. And similarly for FG A grade, FG B grade is also a secondary cost centers and grouped to these input output groupings. So this is the mapping for the cost centers. Then we need to check the mapping for the movement types. So these are the movement types. You can see all the movement types are whichever the movement types we have been seeing. And here 101 being purchase also sometimes, and 101 being production also sometimes. So we have 2 different movement types for that, and the identification is according to the different indicators. And likewise the for the consumption, we have this, if you see 261, 262, we have bomb consumption, 201, 202 issue to cost center, and a lot of different captive consumption transfer to one plant to other plant. Okay. and you can see write-off, physical verification, all these sales, C04, physical verification, 701, 702. So depending on the like processes, we have grouped the movement type into different movement type groups. Let me show you the benefit of this. And this log table is basically just to control the duplicacy of the postings. We have maintained a log table also. Now let me show you the closing stock update, how the closing stocks are getting updated. After running this particular report or program, all these data for the materials. So if you see, this is nothing but a replication of the material price analysis screen, that is CKM3N in the material ledger scenario in HANA, if you have seen that screen. So normally that screen shows individual material by material, opening stock, opening quantity, receipts, consumption, closing stock, etc. But that same report we have created in this manner so that all the materials with opening stock, with opening value, with closing stock, consumption, receipts, everything can be reported in one report. So that CKM3 and material price analysis report we have basically configured in this manner to show all the material in one go. And this program will update the entire report in one of the custom table, and from that table we are bringing that report. You can see. Yeah. So from that you can see this looks like very simple way: opening stock, opening value, opening quantity. And let me just say that this opening quantity and opening value is as of now not available because this whole data we have created and in this month only. So I didn't apply anything in the input and opening anything. So the entire receipts are there, consumptions are there, okay, and according to that the closing is also there. So this is the whole picture of the total of my semi-finished material 1, 2, 3, 4 and finished material 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So likewise the whole data is captured here for the purpose of our process cost sheet and demo of this entire solution. And this whole data is stored in a custom table. It is there for us to check anytime. Now coming to the transaction data. So in transaction data, we have two options to check: one detailed report and one summary report. Now, if I just click on the detailed report, this detailed report will give us all the detail for period, company, posted material, right? And here, one most important thing we have done is mapping the input and output material together. Say, for example, if you just see here, my movement type group is also coming 261. Okay, for 261, the posted material is, let's say, raw material, and for this raw material, the output material is my semi-finished level 1. So this mapping normally not maintained in anywhere in the system with the consumption, with the output and all. So this mapping we have maintained as a part of this transaction data report so that we can easily build this relation for the purpose of creating the process cost sheet. And here we are getting the quantity, value, and the GL also, the posting date, GL account, the profit center where it has been booked, plus the orders. If it is a production order, the order category is 10. If it is a product cost collector, it is 5. Process order, then 40, likewise. And the GL name, and then we have the detail for the input material group, okay, output material group, and then all the other technical details which is required for the purpose of creating the process cost sheet. So this way, this detailed report will help us to reconcile the data with our regular material document report, that is MB51. From this report, you can always go and reconcile with MB51. And if you can reconcile this MB51, which you are anyway doing and using this for the purpose of creating the process cost sheet, then you will get a complete confidence. Then if I just click on the summary report, whole of this detailed report I have summarized as per the requirement of the process cost sheet, which you also would be doing as a part of that. So this is how the summary report looks like. Now, if I just click on any of the group, let's say semi-finished level 1, SFL1, okay, you can see under this group, we have all the movement type, production, BOM consumption, captive consumption, and issue to cost center. So against this, we can see all the different group of movement type, and according to that, the quantity and amounts are basically grouped together. So from multiple line items, it is now restricted to some of the line items at a group level or at a process level. Till now, is it okay? Can you please mention the T code again? So among these T codes are all custom T codes. Okay. So if you just see here, the T codes are custom T codes because this is custom transactions. Because normally these kind of reports and transactions are all not available as a part of our standard systems. So that's why we have developed all this process so that it should be suitable for all the processes where we are willing to use this.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, I was thinking it's a standard report, so that's why I asked.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I agree. But in
Right,
standard,
right,
this kind of reports are not available actually, and it is basically based on our understandings and
Based
experience
on
we
our
have developed.
requirement and
Correct,
okay,
correct.
okay, okay.
But
Fine.
these solutions what we have developed will be suitable for all of the requirements. So that's how we have done. Now let
For
me show you.
manufacturing clients, right,
Yes,
sir?
all the manufacturing client, correct. Now coming
So
to
basically, sir, this report is being developed considering the old scenarios in manufacturing entity.
correct.
Hello?
So all these things are controlled through this maintenance. So whatever the scenarios are there, whatever the groupings are there, these are all designed and worked as per this industry and organization in this maintenance. As whatever we maintain, according to that only this process of report and update will work.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Once these reports are customized in S4HANA also. Yes, these reports are purely designed as per the S4HANA only. If it is required to be configured in ECC, we can tweak that programs as per ECC. But the original design is in HANA because nowadays many of the clients are in HANA, and if they are not in HANA, they are switching to HANA. So we designed this entire solution by keeping the HANA database, HANA tables only into consideration, like MATDoc, ACDoc, etc. Is it okay, Jyotsna? Yeah, thank you. So once this transaction data is basically displayed and we check that, and let me tell you, every month on month, we do not have to check everything. Once or twice, once we check, then we are okay. Okay. Now let me just show you how the transaction data get posted in the system. So let me just show you the, before we post, we have the option to check the data, what we are going to post. So this is the data which we are going to post. Now, what we are doing here, if you see, okay, if you see the SFL1, okay, under this SFL1, so these are the quantity, like for example, 11,851 quantity of raw materials are consumed, plus my production is 11,600, no opening stock as we have seen in the closing stock report, and then accordingly this particular SFL1 is consumed for SFL2 7040. Okay, so according to this Lokesh, transaction data is purely materials, right? Yes, Lokesh, completely materials. So all this transaction data is completely linked to material code, and if you have seen, material codes are linked to the material group, material groups are linked to material group, movement type group, and according to that, these whole things are summarized up to this level. So here we have captured the way we want to see in our process cost sheet. So this is just a you can say preparation of the data for the purpose of the process cost sheet. So once we post, that will be available for our display, which I have already done. Now I have given a transaction to reverse also. By mistake, if I have done any wrong posting, then I can reverse also. Okay. Now, after that, we have all these processes to run. This is completely a standard process for SKF update, for other machine hour update, cycle allocation cycle, okay, and cost center report. Now, after all these things, we can directly go to the final process cost sheet. Let me go to the final process cost sheet directly, how it will look. Yeah. Now, let me just give you an explanation of that. So, level 1 process cost sheet look like this. Here, if the opening stocks are there, then definitely opening also will come into picture, and the formulas are all including the opening stock. So now production is 11,600. This is my raw material consumption quantity, power consumption quantity, raw material consumption quantity in kg, power consumption quantity in kWh, and hence this quantity is not getting our, we are not going to make any total for that. Now this is the next process allocation. This is basically going to the next process, and this is the quantity. For some region we have issued to cost center for some write-off or something, and this is transferred to some other plant as a part of the captive consumption. So level 1 SFG we are not selling, we have not done any write-off, physical things, anything, and hence this is my closing stock 4534. Now if you see, if you just take this total cost and divide with 11,600, you will get 134.97. And this 134.97 per unit cost is utilized for valuating my closing stock, for valuating my transfer to next process, for valuating my captive consumption. Everywhere we are applying this 134.97. And here, if you see the standard cost of this particular material, let me just show you that also. MM60 EC star. See, the standard cost of these materials are here. So it is 137.40. Okay. And here the standard cost is coming as 134.97. So definitely it will be higher or lower depending on the data which we have entered. And for this demo purpose, we have maintained the data by keeping some difference in that. So that's how these costs are coming. Now coming to level 2. Under the level 2, you can see transfer from level 1, 7040 at the rate of 134.97. And this is the input cost for the process 2 and all the other cost which is required for process. And the total cost for this process is coming at 170.93. Now this 170.93 is being used for the process of cost of L3 process cost sheet. And hence this is the total actual cost of process of L2 and the other costs incurred here. And you can see the new cost arrived for process 3 is 211. And you can see here this level 3 SFG is used for level 4 SFG, plus this level 3 SFG is directly used for finished goods of B grade material. Now this is where the process cost also we have, this is a quantity and this is the rate, and hence this is the value being used for that. Now coming to process number 4. In this process number 4 also, we have used the process 3 value, that is 211, and quantity. If you just see 6123 is the same quantity, 6123, right? Then according to all the other element of cost, the new cost coming at 255.83. Now if I just go to the A grade, under the A grade, I can see the level 4 finished goods are being used, 2450 at the rate of 255.83. Let me just cross check that. 2450 and 255.83 transfer to A grade FG. And this is my A grade FG. And the other raw material cost or other packing material costs are also coming as a part of the actual cost, other actual cost. And hence this is the total cost of the product for A grade FG. Now this A grade FG total product cost, let us reconcile with our this MM60 also. In this MM60, as we have seen, this A grade FG is linked to 3 material of SKU 1, 2, 3. Now the cost, if you see the standard cost is 326, 326, 330. So against this different SKU of the finished goods grade A, we have a weighted actual cost of 340 for A grade. This 340 generally we use for valuation of our inventory of A grade FG and for our cost reporting and our this contribution reporting. But in system, we generally get the different cost of different SKU. So sometimes this may not help us in doing our reporting, though we need this because we need this. So this is one example. Now let me show you the B grade also. In B grade, we have used the L3, L4 material and the cost accordingly for L3 and L4. If you remember, this L3 cost is 211 and L4 cost is 255. Similarly, if you see in the B grade, we have used 211, 255 and all the other costs are coming. Let's say raw material cost, packing material cost and the power cost and etc. And this is the, here we have a sales because this is the finished goods. So finished goods we are selling. So 400 quantity is sold and 800 is in the closing stock. Similarly, A grade also, if you see, some material we have issued for some write-off something, and hence the balance from the production, if you see here is this. So this is the A grade and this is the B grade costing. Now similarly, if you see here, the B grade costing in terms of the finished goods each 4 and 5. So 330, 289, and as against that we have a actual cost of 374. So depending on the quantity and amount actually consumed, my costing is very high as compared to the standard cost what we have stored at the product level, SKU level. So this is what the benefit we can get, and we can take a decision why this actual cost is so high for this material and whether we can reduce something or whether we can optimize something. All these decisions we can take once we get this 374 as against this total production quantity. So this is what we are going to deliver, and we are going to deliver to the management. Yes, this is the process cost sheet. Are we also creating this kind of process cost sheet when we create this in either in SAP or in Excel? Can I get some feedback from anyone? Or
So
how
sometimes we can't conclude, मतलब उसको इतना conclude नहीं किया जाता सर कई बार, तो उसमें भी कहीं ना कहीं एक थोड़ा सा लैक रहता है सर, वो उसमें भी एक थोड़ा सा डेविएशन रहता है सर, उस नतीजे तक नहीं पहुंच पाते हैं कंक्लूजन तक. So the working जो आपने सर यहाँ प्रेजेंट किया है, that is something different what we are doing. So हाँ जी,
अमन एक्सपेक्टेशन रहती है ना कि यहाँ तक पहुंचे.
एक्सपेक्टेशन रहती है सर, इवन मैनेजमेंट को भी एक्सपेक्टेशन रहती है कि एक्चुअल चीजें निकल के आए.
करेक्ट एग्जैक्टली. तो बट बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस की वजह से हम लोग यहाँ तक नहीं पहुंच पाते,
कर नहीं पाते हैं. दिस इज द मेन रीजन. एग्जैक्टली सर, दिस इज द मेन रीजन. समटाइम्स का डेटा बहुत ज्यादा हेवी होता है सर सिस्टम में, जो कि क्योंकि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होती है की वजह से भी सिस्टम वो रन नहीं कर पाता है, तो हम उस तरीके तक नहीं पहुंच पाते. तो नियरली एक समटाइम्स क्या होता है सर, हम एक अप्रोक्सीमेशन में चले जाते हैं 60 to 70% करने के बाद. तो जो 30% होता है वो ये यहाँ कवर करता है सर, which you present today. Correct. I understand and appreciate that concern from you, Aman. Thanks for your sharing. Yeah. Anyone else can share your feedback on this? First of all, would you like this kind of a process cost sheet if it is there with you?
Any feedback from anyone? Abhilash, would you like to say? You mentioned yes.
Yes, so basically, it is very detailed data recording is to be available with the organization firsthand to get this report. There has
Correct.
to be a correct material masters are to be seen, maintained, and updated from time to time, so that this kind of report comes rightly into the system while
Exactly.
doing data
Exactly.
allocation.
Exactly.
So it is not something which is impossible for the organizations, but the complexity it involves and what clarity of the process one should have will get the organization through to get such kind of very, I would say, accurate and decision making information
Perfect.
from
Perfect.
the SAP itself instead of crunching numbers in the Excel sheets.
Exactly, exactly. So that is what exactly we sometimes try to, but we fail and we put all the things in Excel. So I agree with you.
Yes.
So